say, thank you for responding to me. I'm kind of excited on this project. It's kind of like a Santa Claus project for me. What I'm working on. All my life, as you know, we received knowledge about the same time, 1971. And I've always been interested in meditation and science. All my life, I wanted to do research, with the meditation and science. And so anyway, to make a long story short, it took 50 years. Here's some background on this. A month ago, I don't know if you ever heard of Joe Dispenza, but he has it does seminars all around the world, and he has 1,000 people come to his seminars, and he's really into science and meditation. As a matter of fact, the University of San Diego, the research scientists have been studying his group for over a year. And so he had a presentation with the research scientists. They had 12 scientists from the University of San Diego, and the chief scientist was there. And they were studying the effects of COVID and meditation. I won't go into it because it's kind of involved, but I sent you a link on that. So I was highly impressed by the sophistication. Years ago, we didn't have tools like that, what we have today. So, make a long story short, I was so blown away. The next day, I talked to my brother and says, I'm going to send this chief scientist an email, explaining, I was blown away by what he presented. And this has kind of been my passion. I wanted to get involved in a research project. So this was over a month ago, and I forgot about it, and I thought, okay, well, yeah, he's not interested. So, but last Monday, I get an email from that. He said, I'm so sorry, that I've ignored you, but I've had 3 research grants that I had to fill out. But your email, it intrigued me. And it intrigued him 2 ways. First, he says, you're a twin, says, and we want to research twins. And also, as we began to talk, he saw that I had a lot of connections. And what he told me halfway through is that he wants me to find out different groups besides Joe Dispenza who would be interested in partaking in this. And the first thing that came to my mind was PET. My brother John told me that 6 prisons in India closed due to the fact they didn't need me anymore.
Yeah.
and when I heard that, and then I heard you told me in our last discussion about the gangs in Colombia, where they're not fighting with one another. Mm-hmm. And so this is profound changes. And so these changes not only occur spiritually, but they also involve the chemical makeup of the brain, the hardware changes, the software changes. A person is getting rewired directly from whatever you want to call it, but changes are happening in the physical body. And science now has the apparatus to like, for example, when you get angry, scientists know 1,500 negative chemicals get secreted in the human body. Most people in the West, the faucet of adrenaline, they can't turn off, which means that when adrenaline flows, when you're asleep or trying to go to sleep, you can't go to sleep because your body is in high beta. Only when you go to like theta and delta states can you go to sleep. but we live such stressed out lives, we can't do that. So anyway, the reason why I'm connecting you is that I hopefully maybe with your connections, we can even have someone, I can get a meeting with the chief scientist, and you guys can explain your program. And one thing I even saw, I saw in Prem site that not only are they doing it in prisons now, but they're doing it in the VA administration. And this is where his name is Hemal Patel. You know, he's in India, and he's a head in the VA administration hospitals for, he's kind of taking a look at other ways, you know, besides using, you know, like medicine, you know, which really doesn't help solve the problem. You know, the way the VA is doing right now really isn't helping vets. You know, most vets, unfortunately, are so, you know, messed up. Not of their own doing, but, you know, they out of their duties, you know, they fought, and when they come back home, they're not being taken care of. So I would, you know, like to see if it's possible if somehow Prem's organization can work, because the University of San Diego is one of the premier medical research centers in the world. You know, that's where the Salk Institute is. They're renowned for their scientific investigations. So, you know, and even what they're looking at, even initially, is they want to get blood samples. All, you know, everything is in your blood. They can find out anything about you in your blood. They want to get swab, you know, from mucus, urine, and excrement. You know, just, and so they basically test kits would be set out. What they do at Joe Dispenza, which would be cool for Prem's group, is that they have 1,000 people in the audience, and they have the latest scientific head thing, so they can monitor, you know, the various brain states that people are going through. So their sense of scientific apparatus is, you know, a million times what it was in the 70s. So I thought, hey, I know John.
Yeah.
let me, you know, bring this by you, and kind of have you sense your intuition. And what do you think about that?
Well, for me, I know it would work. You know, I know just by being involved with the peace education program for the last 7 years, I've been facilitating and helping with operations and just being a part of the team.
Yeah,
And it's been really transformative in terms of how it's put me in sync with myself, and then the way I see things around me, you know, and people, because it just unites me with a sense of consciousness. You know, it's a conscious awareness of how much we are alike, how much we need the same things,
right.
you know, how much we even want the same things. And yet it brings it very clear to me as an individual, the importance of understanding this, you know, that it provides the information, you know, not just people's confirmation. This is what Prem does for me personally. He provides information because it's wisdom, you know, it's wisdom that you can carry with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Yeah, it's so beneficial. And I don't know how other people hear him. I just know how it resonates with me as a human being, you know, because it just has made me a better human being.
Yeah,
And this is something that each person has to get in touch with or process on their own. But it's really helped me transform into a better human being. And it allows me to see others in that same view, that I see the potential. I don't see the person so much on the outside as I used to. I mean, of course, I still see you on the outside, but I look at you as a human more first, and
Yeah.
then the rest comes in. And the noise of all that takes its own play. But still, I have a way of redirecting my own personal focus, and this is something that I'm very grateful, because it's put me aligned with my own gratitude, my own sense of gratitude for my own existence. And this is something I need to be reminded of every day. It's something that I, you know, have learned to value. It's just like a sense of value. How much can it's how much can your heart take almost? Because it's so valuable.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, it's just like, oh my God, this
Well,
perception that we can have as just being alive is priceless, you
mhm.
know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and what you're talking about, I know that it's a forum that can be eventually introduced. I just think it has to take its steps through the right protocol. There's a certain, you know, TPRF has their own um, let's just say they have their own guidelines, and they
Yeah.
have, so to introduce this to TPRF is what I would have to do in order, but I couldn't do it with what you understand of it. So in a way, I think that that's what you could do, is let them know about that, because it sounds really interesting,
Mhm.
because people do need to hear the science behind this stuff. People don't realize that meditation, there's a science that
Yeah,
goes along with that,
yeah, yeah.
a physiological thing that happens. It's a tool, that really alters the chemistry of a human being, because you get, it's like a reset button. It's like a reset that happens inside. I don't know how or anything, it's just that all I know is it happens because I make an effort, and it's the right, using the right tools in the right way
Mhm.
provides, it just provides
Mhm.
personal experience,
Yeah,
because it's a personal experience. No matter how much we want to rubber stamp the word meditation around something, it's not, it's so different for every person.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
come on. We're no longer in this, like, you know, I think, we grew up in that phase where we were introduced to transcendental meditation, hatha yoga, this and that. And we developed all these concepts around it. But now it's different, because Prem kind of shed light on the fact that if you're not experiencing anything, you're not doing, it's not working. It works. This stuff works for me, knowing that, but it's the way that we have to present it so that it's not religious or political. It's really
Yeah.
different now.
Mhm.
They're very interested in the way we present um, others with the opportunity,
Mhm.
to involve themselves, so that way it's free for them to explore and discover on their own, rather than you telling this is what's going to happen. No, let them figure it out, because it is an individual process, and
Yeah.
let the person, let it come from what's from within themselves, basically, is what it boils down to. Not you telling them, well, you're going to experience this, and you're going to, like we did, when
Oh,
we
when
came,
yeah,
oh
exactly.
my God, you're going to
Yeah.
see this light and da da here, da da. It's just like that was so much of the stuff that he's gotten rid of
Mhm.
today. It's like he wants each person to come because they want to come. Um,
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know, it-
No one
yeah,
else's experiences, but
yeah, it's
yeah,
not it's your experience. It's not
right.
my experience in you. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah,
really,
yeah.
he's become very concise on that level. It's just like, no, it's you and you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you reflecting into you, and you becoming familiar with you. And it's something that has to take place on an individual. But at the same time, the encouragement from the information is so amazing because the peace education program, each one of the themes is so spot on. It's like a program unto itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can come, even though there's peace, there's appreciation, inner strength, self-awareness, clarity, understanding, dignity, choice, hope, then
Oh my
contentment.
gosh. Well,
Yeah,
that's
these
so
are,
cool. Oh,
there's 10,
yeah.
there's 10 series of workshops.
Yeah.
And each person, as they, just explore, you might say, or just become the attendant, the attendee, has their own perception of what's
Mhm.
being offered. It's because the information, how you digest the information, how you process it is so unique to you. And some people, they might not get it. I don't know. It's not really up to me. It's like it's such a beautiful plant, that a seed that's being planted, that each person gets to watch their own growth as they nurture their
Mhm.
own. It's a development. It's a self discovery development that happens.
Mhm.
So the way what I've understood about the peace education program is it's very important that when you go out and contact some of these people, I don't know everything but PEP@tprf.org is kind of like the link to go to, where you
Mhm.
can and you yourself can say, well, I'm involved with this science group, or I've, whatever, however you put it.
Yeah.
And you think that they would be in, how would I introduce them to it? It's basically what you're asking, I think, because
Yeah,
you would
that's what, I went to Premarat's site and I sent the email to there.
Mhm,
And I gave the chief scientist the contact information for
mhm,
Prim. I gave him the
mhm,
phone number,
mhm,
that I found on the internet. But then
mhm,
I was just, out of curiosity, wanted to
mhm,
know how because I know you've been involved with it. You just said it for
mhm,
7 years
mhm,
of what your intuition. For me, it's kind of incredible where a chief scientist asked my
mhm,
brother and I to help
mhm.
them out to
Yeah.
find groups. That's kind of unheard of. Synchronicity. You just as I
Yeah.
was saying, it took
Yeah.
50 years to get this off
Uh,
the ground.
oh, no
I
problem.
I have I'm also I have a lot of Buddhist friends, and
Mhm.
so I have a contact. As you know, the Dalai Lama has been doing this for 80 years. Every
Right.
year he's been having a symposium on
Mhm,
meditation and science ever since
mhm,
the 80s.
mhm,
And a friend of mine named Glenn Mullen, he set up in the 1980s between Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and
mhm,
a university in India,
mhm,
science and meditation, research, so both universities could research together.
mhm.
So, I have a contact that I'm there that I'm working on, where maybe a University of San Diego can piggyback on
Mhm,
their research. And then
mhm,
also the top of my list
mhm,
was your guys' program.
mhm. Oh,
I,
yeah.
the way I think, if prisons close, 6 prisons close, something is going on physically, not just spiritually, but
Right.
physically. If a prison closed, it isn't only a spiritual reason why,
Mhm.
physically.
Right.
Otherwise, that prison would still, if the prisoners weren't in harmony, then
Mhm,
they wouldn't close that prison down. If they were a threat to society, they would
Right.
not close down a prison. And
No.
we're talking about 6 prisons. So for me, something unique.
Something
All
right.
this, yeah, exactly. Something is right, exactly. That's
That's it.
yeah.
This is how
So
it works. I think it's that there is something right that's
yeah,
happening with the peace education program, and a person gets in touch with that which is right, for themselves. They
right.
realize that they've been doing wrong, and then they've kind of neglected the right, and then all of a sudden you're knocking on the door and saying, hey man, you've been on this side of the fence so long, why don't you check out this? Because
Yeah,
there is a right
right.
in life.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a right in life. Life has a rightness that's so genuinely, you know profoundly beautiful, and you don't see it because you're so into your lifestyle that is
Mhm.
wrong. And it just gives a person to say, hey, well, I can do this. It really awakens a sleeper in this sense. It's like we're
Yeah,
all been asleep to who we are, and there is
yeah.
a rightness to who we are as well, because we're alive. That's
Mhm.
something right. We don't realize how right that is. This is our time to get in sync with that,
Yeah.
because it is really powerful to have your life aligned with what is right,
Mhm.
because your existence is right. It's because something right happened, not because something wrong happened. You might say, oh man, I'm a mistake. No, you're not a mistake. It's
Yeah.
just the way you're looking at it. And this is how the peace education is so valuable of a tool, for each
Mhm.
individual, because we've come from so many diverse, cultures and understandings and this and that. But it's just like, but it's more than that, is what it shows you. Is you're more than that. You're more than what you thought. You can't even think about what you are, really. You're
Mhm.
so much more. You're a part of a universe. You're a part of the divine. This is who we really are. But we've kind of gotten misaligned,
Yeah. Yeah.
with the misinformation. And it's the
Mhm.
information that comes through in the peace education program that kind of realigns the human being to thinking what is possible. Because it's before you might not have even known that peace is inside. You
Mhm.
might know it, but you've never felt it. And then this is where it kind of aligns you to the
Yeah.
possibility of feeling it. And that's the reality of peace, is a feeling,
Yeah.
instead of just a concept of utopia or euphoria. You're personally feeling something within yourself, and it
Mhm.
feels good.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you resonate with that. You do. You, as an individual, you resonate when something feels good. You're kind of like, you are wired
Yeah. Exactly right.
to accept that. You just embrace it without even knowing you're embracing it, because
Mhm.
that's your nature. And
Mhm.
this is how beautiful I feel, the peace education program, the impact it's had on me personally. And I've watched how it's really impacted other people, even if it's just one student out of 10.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
Right.
okay, because it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Because that one person will tell somebody else, and that, how we did it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Come
Exactly.
on, man, we come in for 50 years, dude.
I know. Uh-huh.
This We're so fortunate, man, to
Uh-huh.
still be alive.
Uh-huh.
And with the understanding that we've been enriched with such priceless understanding, man. I mean,
Mhm.
because it's like we can definitely, there's moments when I'm really in sync. I can say, if I die tomorrow, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because my life has had so many moments of treasure that I can just focus on, that I can say, come on, man, this this is it. I
Mhm.
mean, I've literally, I was walking around today and I just felt like Earth is so beautiful. I was just looking at the skies after a rain, and how beautiful. It's just like,
Mhm.
it's just like, oh my God, this is heaven. Why am
Yeah.
I thinking it's something else, man? Why am I, I'm so glad I'm not hell bent on destroying this planet because I really,
I know.
because it's so beautiful. And then
Uh,
you look at pictures from Mars and all you see is rocks, 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 rocks. No trees? Are you kidding me? And we don't realize how trees are so, they've been through such a long evolution and they've made it through so many transformations. And then they're providing such, oh my God, the basis of our inhale
yeah,
is,
exactly.
come on, their exhale, our exhale is their inhale. And it's just such a symbiotic relationship that we have. We don't realize it, but we're cutting it down and we're doing all this crazy stuff. And I
Mhm.
don't know. I just hope for myself. We can't change the world, but individually, just making this kind of one-on-one with people, sometimes it makes a difference. I
Yeah.
really feel that, it elevates the conscious awareness and it resonates with more, as it resonates with you, then another
Mhm.
person comes aligned with it. And excuse me, it's a ripple effect that happens.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
one thing,
mhm,
Hemal asked me too is he wants me to get individuals. So,
mhm,
we have so many friends, you and I, who've been meditating for 50 years, so
right,
many from meditating over 25 years. And
right.
I'm trying to find people who are willing
Mhm,
to help assist in this scientific inquiry
mhm,
of the effects of meditation on the human body, especially
right.
after 50 years.
Oh
We,
my God.
we probably know at least 200 people, at
Yeah.
least probably,
Oh yeah.
who've been meditating for 50 years.
If-
And but
mhm,
I, for the life of me, uh, I don't know how to say this. I can't get people even interested.
mhm,
So I'm
mhm,
trying to think of. I don't know if you're willing,
mhm,
to ask your meditation friends, who've
mhm,
been around for
mhm,
25 over years. He wants to do serious investigation on the long-term effects, because that's the long term, is the body changes. Your body is more harmonious now
mhm,
than
mhm,
ever before. Your state
mhm,
of mind is more
mhm,
in harmony than ever before. So um, I don't know, where this will take me. I'm kind of hoping that someone can help pick up the ball and run with it too, because
yeah.
this is almost unheard of from a university to ask two
Mhm,
people. They have
mhm,
no. I mean, usually scientists are extremely intellectual. That's how
mhm,
scientists are. They
mhm,
they're kind of divorced from their heart. That's a kind of the state of science.
mhm.
But so we had this conversation with John and I, and as soon as the guy started speaking, it's like we all melted together. This guy was a scientist, but for some reason he had a great heart, and halfway through that, his
Mhm,
heart melted, and he said point blank, it's very hard to find people who want to contribute to science,
mhm,
especially during our age, with
mhm.
all the, just, well, excuse me, the bullshit going on with
Yeah.
science. It just,
Mhm, mhm,
the common sense is uncommon. You know, Truth is fiction and fiction is truth.
mhm,
Just as that. That's the way. But when he asked John and I, if we'd be willing to help him, yeah,
mhm,
yeah, that's the reason why I wrote that email. I
mhm,
I wanted to, because I think science.
mhm,
Look at 30 years ago, 50 years ago, when we learned how to meditate in
mhm,
Newport Beach. I grew up maybe an hour away from you. You were
mhm.
considered a commie if you meditated. That's how.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a real, you're a real weirdo, So wow, we don't want to have
Yeah.
anything to do with whatever happened to the Fletcher brothers. So,
Mm.
but now I have staunch Trump supporters, among my friends,
Mm.
and they
Mhm.
read the stuff that I'm writing about.
Mhm.
And they've been reading it for 5 years, which is in total alignment with Prem's talking about. And
Mhm.
in the last 6 months, they're starting to for everything I put out, I love this, love this, love this, love this. Where slowly, as you were saying, a seed gets planted inside. We're not
Mm.
trying to convince anybody.
No.
We're just a seed is planted, and we put a little water on it, a little fertilizer on it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to convince anybody of anything. That knowledge does
Mm.
not need convincing.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
there all by itself.
Yeah.
So that's what I am trying. So I have two fronts on this. One, I would love to get the peace program involved. Not sure
Yeah.
how it can happen, but I'm making, that's why I'm calling people that I know,
Mhm.
and you've been doing it for 7 years, and then
Mhm.
also at the same time I'm looking for people who have I don't I John and I, maybe along premise, we don't have any kind of influence, and
Mhm.
I don't know how to. But actually, all I'm saying is, if if you want to help, that would be great. If you don't want to help, that would be great.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying if I don't want to, it's just that um to me, if you want to ask me this and that, those kind of things, I'm definitely open to it. And if you need some kind of like all those little tests is involved, I don't mind doing stuff like that either. It's
Yeah,
just that, if you send me a packet and say, well, we need your this swab, this, that, and your fecal, this and that. I've done stuff like that already for like, neurological studies,
yeah,
for UCLA, because I have neuropathy and I've done stuff that involves science on that level.
yeah,
And I don't mind, personally, I don't mind,
yeah,
I don't know how, other than this kind of communication that we're having, I don't know how else I can get involved. I'm not saying that I want to get involved. I'm just saying to, just because it sounds fine for me, just talking
yeah.
to you. And I
So
don't
so
know, you
how do you
guys,
think we could get other premies involved without
Mhm,
involving prems or organizations? So let's say,
mhm, mhm,
with the peace program,
mhm,
whatever, that's meant to happen somehow
mhm,
through divine intervention that could happen. Now
mhm,
on a personal level, even
mhm,
if if we talk about meditation, we don't even
mhm.
have to say that they're premies. That
Right.
all we have to say is that this person has been meditating for
Mhm,
25, 30, 40, 50 years.
mhm,
And what would your with the insight on that? Let's say if you were, let's say, in my shoes,
mhm,
and you had a huge network, let's say, we probably know about 400 premies who received
mhm,
knowledge back then.
mhm.
How would you approach it?
It's that's really a tricky question because even though everyone has received knowledge, everyone is not practicing knowledge the way
Right.
that, maybe it's supposed to be. But I mean, I don't know. It's just so many variables,
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
and when it comes to like maybe just discussing it first, I think that's personally how you can kind of get a consensus. Maybe send out a consensus. What is your experience? Can you write it down in 20 words? I'm just giving you some kind of
Yeah.
brain,
Yeah.
you know.
I put on Facebook, did a post. I don't
Mhm.
know if know if you. Well, actually, let's see here. Let me share the screen first for 1 second.
Yeah, you can do
And,
that.
and
I'm I'm familiar with share screen. You gotta you click this two buttons on the bottom too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
Facebook. Okay, and let's go to Richard. And oh, let's go to. Oh, actually, yeah, this is this thing that I sent you right here. This whole thing. This is in your a message. I did this. Let's see. Oh, last Thursday. So
Which one on the one on the right in the
yeah,
blue?
yeah, and right in the blue, right?
You know, I I don't remember if I read this because sometimes Messenger I don't always go to. It's not my go-to way
Yeah,
of.
I saw that. You saw, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but as soon as I saw that I had missed your call, I said, "Oh, wow!" So that's why I responded because
Mhm.
I don't want you to think that I was ignoring you. It's just that it's just not something it's just not one of my go-to pages when it comes to. I look at my Facebook all the time though, every
Yeah.
day. It's just my messenger thing. I've had
Right.
some experience with being hacked and all that, so it's just
Oh
kind of
yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So it makes so I'm gonna read this, after I get off, I'll read it thoroughly and
okay.
I'll get back with you on how but I mean it's I mean, John, I'm interested in your friendship. I'm gonna tell you that, I mean, John or Richard, you're Richard, right?
Yeah, I'm Richard. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm interested in your friendship because it's like it's stimulating, you know what I mean? It just stimulates me in terms of my way of thinking, I mean, it's kind of my social it's right in there, it's like I can relate to so much of what you're saying, it's so beautiful to have that type of rapport with another person, even and and it's a bonus. We both have knowledge.
Mhm, yeah,
Come
exactly.
on. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's a bonus. We both know Prim, I mean, these kind of things I don't have every day in my life. So it's kind of like, well, that opens me up to the possibility.
Mhm.
Right now, I've been invited again to go back inside the jail. The jail has been closed.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah. And there's a Twin Towers here, and there's 30,000 inmates.
Whoa.
And
30,000.
and it's the biggest mental institution in the United States.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Prim went to the Twin Towers. He came there a few years back. But now, because they're in quarantine because of the COVID, I started 2 weeks ago or three. And then the group that I was with, because they're in isolated pods, most of them are in quarantine. It was the only pod that wasn't in quarantine. And throughout well, after we did about 4 or 5 of the sessions, we got to clarity. I was told that, okay, well, they're in quarantine, so you have to wait 10 days. So now they're in quarantine. And what opened up out of the clear blue, we've been trying to expand you know, um, our our reach to other floors and other, because it's a big place, but we only had this one section. And so there's a men's central jail across the street from the Twin Towers, which is the huger facility, and they're open. So I got to go there Tuesday for the first time. They only allow 10 participants, which is understandable because of the COVID and everything.
Yeah. All right.
But what was beautiful was the deputy sat in also. It wasn't just for the inmates, the deputy sat in. And now the sergeant's going to come tomorrow. I go tomorrow.
Whoa. 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 Wow.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to see. For me, it's just such a blast being a part of what Prem wants others to hear about, because it's about delivering the message. It's about the message. Prem does not want it to be about him,
Right,
because
right.
as you fall in love with the message, you'll fall in love with him eventually. I mean, this is what I feel, because you say, oh man, he's cool. Oh yeah, oh, because he said this, in some kind of way you get your own connection. It's not because somebody is exalted him on on a lotus
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
flower, like we
Like
did.
how it was 50 years ago. Right, right.
Oh
Exactly.
my God, the Lord is here. What I mean? It was just like that. No, but it's just, just make it down. He's so humanized. He's such he wants humans just to recognize that stuff. You know what I mean? He wants to be related like another human being that's just reaching out to another human being. And it's so beautiful what's happening. So tomorrow, I'm excited tomorrow to go because I'm the only one going in to do this.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, so it's like, and I don't know. For me, it's an honor. It's
Mhm.
really an honor and a privilege. And the fact that one of them said, "Do you think he's going to come? Hey, can we get him to come?" Because I mentioned that he had come to the Twin Towers. He said, "Hey, do you think we can get him to come?" And to me, that was like, oh God, this is only day one, and you're already wanting to see him. This is, you know what I mean? Now, this is what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah,
through my
yeah.
head. I'm going, oh my
Right.
God. I'm saying, well, anything's possible, and da 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 da. I didn't want to show my I would they didn't know that I was doing jumping jacks inside my when they said
Yeah.
that. It was like, of course, I'd love for him to come here. You
Yeah.
know, what was really just to share with you what happened with one individual inmate. He was bored. He was sitting there in his pod, and he saw that his bunkie had left a book. And so he went, he was on the upper bunk and he went and grabbed the, started reading because his bunkie was gone to a visit or whatever, doctor visit or whatever. And it just so happened it was the book Splitting of the Arrow.
Oh my gosh.
And
Whoa.
he got so blown away by the book. He asked his bunkie, he said, man, where'd you get this? Then he told him that, well, I'm involved with the peace education program. We had received a donation so we can give them to the inmates in the peace education program to read. And then we were going to have them come back and give us kind of like their takeaway, write down their little reflections on what they read and stuff like that. So he said, oh, so anybody can come in? Yeah, yeah. So he was there the next week.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Okay. And he says, you'll never believe this. I was just reading, I was just laying there bored and da 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 and came and next thing I know, I'm here and he was so blown away by the program. And then it just so happened, guess what? Prem had accepted an invitation to the Twin Towers the following week.
Oh my.
Oh,
Oh
the
my.
magic of you connect the dots. You hear about,
Whoa.
he said, and then he got not only that, he got to sit in the first row, and it was only 3 feet from Prem. And he got to talk to him that day. He says, I don't know how this happened, but I just saw this book. Then I'm find myself at the peace education program. Now I find myself here, standing here talking to you.
Oh my God. Whoa.
It was such a beautiful connect.
Wow.
And
Wow.
he had a question. That's why he was sitting in the front row. And and Prem just said, just keep digging, because he was letting him know it's not over. You just started. Something in you wants to know. And that's just to keep digging. And actually he's in the Twin Towers video. They actually taped it at the same time.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
but this brother, I forget, I think it was Rodney or something of that nature, but he reminded me of me because my personal experience was that I tried to meditate. I left summer school, went to go hang out with my best friends, and they lived in Cheviot Hills, and they had a garage, and we had turned it into a little pot house. So we come together after school and after summer school, whatever.
That's not
And they
Randy,
were,
is it?
huh?
That's not Randy, is it?
Randy was one of them later on. Yeah.
Oh, later on. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I told him about it later.
Oh, did you? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm the one that told him about Prem. And then he said, "Oh my God." He said, "I could see something in your eyes." This is what he tells me now. He said, "Man, your eyes were shining, da 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 da. I knew you had something." So, but at this time, I was like, I had just read Paramahansa Yogananda's book, and it was really intriguing that he was in search of a master, and he had went through this one and that one. And then all of a sudden in the book, it said, everyone has a master. That, and when he said that, I said, oh, that sounded something that I needed, you know?
Mhm.
So when I was there at the garage waiting on my friends, I decided to try to do my own little meditation. And there was a tapestry on the garage wall, and I tried concentrating on it. And then I lit a candle, and I tried concentrating on the candle, because I didn't know how to meditate.
Yeah,
So it was
exactly.
just
Yeah.
something that intrigued me. Cosmic consciousness, self-realization, oh, God realization. Oh my God, these were words that I was a teenager, and those were profound, and
Mhm.
then just the way that it was explained and da 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 da. I said, this is what I want. And then all of a sudden I sat there and I said, I'm not feeling nothing. I'm not experiencing anything. So I decided, because I had read the Upanishads about bowing before God and the omnipresence. And so I did a little bow and I did a prayer saying, please, God, help me find my master. And soon as I said my prayer, man, I'm not kidding. My friends walked in and they said, yo, John, man, we just left these people, man, and they're talking about a 13-year-old perfect master. And I went, boom, my head lit up. I said, you're in what? He said, yeah, man. And I said, can you take me there? And he said, yeah, we'll take you. They took me to Alta Loma
That's what I
Terrace.
heard. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
And then they dropped me off. I could
Oh.
not leave. The atmosphere was so thick. And then he walks in with his entourage, Maharaj Singh and Joan Apter and Gary Gerard and
Or
the
Charnon, probably, right?
Charnon, of course,
Yeah.
and I just I had spoke to you. Remember Sitaram?
Oh yeah, I remember Sita Ram. Yep. Yep. Yep.
He was
Yep.
the one that just was, oh my God, he was like on fire with satsang. He had so much to share with me because he told me about every picture on the wall. And, oh yeah, that's Krishna and that's Arjuna and that's Buddha. And this is, he was explaining a whole lot. And I was just mesmerized by his energy. And he said, and if you get a chance, ask Maharaj, ask Maharaji for the knowledge. And they called it perfect knowledge. And I said, okay. So I think Maraji was waiting for the bathroom because it was a 2-bedroom apartment with one bathroom. And I saw him standing there alone. I had just completely felt so blown away to see him. And I just went up to him. I said, I think I said something to the nature of, Venerable Master, I know I have a mission. And he said, well, do you know your mission? I said, no. He said, then what is it that you want? I said, may I receive your perfect knowledge? He said, yes. And then he walked away. And all I know is I was so in la la land. I was just completely excited. That night, they let us sleep on the floor. The next morning, Charnanji came out and he said, all those that want to receive knowledge, raise your hand. And I raised my hand and we went into a room and that was it.
Wow. Wow.
And I was, he screened people to say, oh no, you need to listen some more or whatever. But for me, he just let me stay in and I received techniques of knowledge. And it's been working ever since.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is something that I'm blown away to even be able to say, man, how many things work after 50 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
and then not only work, but get better with time.
Oh, oh
Better.
my God. Oh,
I mean,
take a look about
I don't think I
our
was, well, I thought I was experiencing something in the beginning. Now it's like, man, this is your whole life. This is, it makes a difference in your whole day. I don't miss a day without it. I don't.
Yeah,
I can't start my day. It just doesn't feel right.
yeah.
Just to wake up and brush my teeth and go out into the world. No, no, no.
No, no, exactly.
Go inside first, then I'll take whatever comes, what may, you know?
Well, for me,
And
I always heard in the beginning,
mm,
you meditate on God, and at a
mm.
certain point, God starts meditating on you.
it's it's
And
something that happens.
yeah,
It's definitely not something you create, you know, it's something that
exactly.
you learn to accept, and it's a process.
Well, look at the difference right now. You close your eyes and
Mhm.
you're there versus 50 years
Oh,
ago, it would take a half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour. And a lot
mm.
of times, no matter how much effort you put in there, you couldn't be in that
You
state.
can connect.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
connect.
just
And, and
yeah.
and now you close your eyes and that connection is there.
Yeah, because you recognize what it is. Before it's like
Exactly.
you still got your little photograph of what it's supposed to be and what it's not, it's we had to wade through a lot of concepts,
Oh
man.
yeah.
We
Oh
did.
my God.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
And we're still waiting. I know this, but at the same time, it's far less than what it was,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to wade through so much of your own personal mud of
Yeah.
concepts. It's like, and it's sticky, it's like, it's not hard. It's hard because it's trying to hold you there. It's trying to not keep you from having that experience, and it's such a big difference of having an experience than just, you know, being there,
Mhm.
wanting. But the want is good too, I've realized, because it makes you want more.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with the thirst.
No,
You know,
no. And we're always going to be thirsty.
oh yeah, and
There-
it's gonna make you more thirsty, is what I
yeah.
find out.
Just think, you can meditate for a trillion years, and it's still
Mhm.
to drop in the bucket for
Yeah.
infinity. So yeah,
Mhm.
we can never clap our hands and say, well, I know it all. That's that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just one moment that makes like everything worthwhile.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with how long. It's just that moment,
Yeah.
you know, and you just are taken away from, you're just blown away,
Mhm.
and you're in awe. And that awe is the experience for me, because I love the awe. I loved, like, oh my God, where was that? What, that place was beautiful, and I'm not always there, no, but I make an effort because it
Yeah.
is something you have to nurture. It's not something that comes, I mean, it comes naturally more so than, but at the same time, you have to, it doesn't, you have to continue practicing.
Right.
It's not an option
You
after a
cannot
while.
rest on your laurels.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have the
Man,
greatest experience, and all it takes
whew,
is one day. I don't need to do this. The next day, I don't need to do this. I
exactly
don't
what he
need to do
says.
this, and eventually, you don't need to do it because you've left it behind.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm so grateful that the understanding today is, you know, understanding how necessary it is in my life. And how important it is and how valuable it is and how priceless it is. These are just, adjectives, but I say that with a conviction, man, that it's very incredible to be alive and understand this. And especially in my age, I'm almost 70 years old. I don't know how old you are,
I'm
but
69.
yeah,
Just
I'm 69 too.
yeah,
January 8th, I became 69. But I mean, in terms of, I never related to numbers on that level.
yeah.
I just never related to
Hey,
my
I'm about a
age.
week. I'm about a week older than you. I was born December 24th.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, you're in, you know, but the amazing thing is we met Prem when he was 13.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Wow.
I mean, really, man, that's just, I just saw a video a couple of days ago of him when he was at, I think he was at the Larchmont speaking, and it was just his whole Hindi accented, but he was speaking with the same, conviction, with the same clarity. And it was so beautiful to just see the transformation because it was kind of like, uh, what do you call that? It was like snippets of him as he was 13 and getting older and older and older. So
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
yeah, it was like a collage of a slideshow that with a few quotes and with him speaking in different parts. So it was a beautiful reminder of how incredible it is that this person, he's an incredible human being. He really is. He has
Oh, the
really,
dedication. I can't believe how much he sacrificed his own person, traveling around the world.
mine.
For me, it's a headache just to travel from here to New
Mm,
York or New York to Europe
mm,
and to do that. Being
mhm.
he's on the road, well, about 250, when COVID's not around, about 250 days out of the year. He's
It's amazing.
yeah,
He goes around the world 5 times in a year sometimes, he
yeah,
says.
wow, wow.
He's
Yeah.
traveled that many miles. He says it's the equivalent of traveling around the world. I can't, I'm just in awe
Yeah.
of him, of Prem still to this day. And I'm so grateful that I maintain that because it's just a beautiful relationship,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
best. It's the best, and then he helps me to be my own best friend as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
not so much depending on the external relationship stuff that I used to, even though I still have it, I'm sure, but I'm
Yeah.
just seeing I'm okay alone. I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can be alone and not lonely.
Well, even for myself, let's say when I was 18 years old, I couldn't write worth a damn. I had, and now 50 years later, just think in 10 years, I've written about 50 books, all
Mm,
about books like conscious politics, conscious
mhm,
economics. If you don't
mhm,
have kindness in your politics or your
mhm,
economics, the
mhm,
world's in a whole world of trouble. So I've written that. I even wrote a book. I don't know how to give it to Prem, but it was on family and friends and my journey to
mhm,
receiving knowledge. I talked about that, and then
mhm,
I talked about. I think I had about 400 premies that I
mhm,
talked about. I
mhm,
met this person or
mhm,
whatever, and
mhm,
then I kind of got into the artistic sides, the
mhm,
people's poetry and their
mhm,
music and all that.
mhm,
I have it on YouTube and it's a PDF. Uh,
mhm,
I don't know how to get it to Prem, but I did that in
mhm.
celebration for his 50th years, of coming to the West.
Go to premrawat.com,
Oh, okay.
and it does allow for personal messaging with him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure people send videos and different things, and because he speaks about, people reading about this and reading what people have said about this during the COVID, especially. He's opened it up so that you can write him direct.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so
Okay.
premrawat.com, and just kind of like browse around to see if it has different tabs and
Yeah, I'll find it if
options.
it's there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it'll say, okay, you want to write, then this is this, because I've written to him and on different occasions, like maybe wishing him a personal happy birthday or something of that nature.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I send him a card every month to his residence.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
just
Uh-huh.
just to say, oh, I love you. Oh, I thank you so much. I don't know how to thank you, but this is my
Yeah.
way of
Yeah.
saying thank you. And
Uh-huh.
Durgaji has written me back and saying, "Oh, thank you so much," da 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 da.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Prem says this, and I don't know. I'm kind of, you definitely want to hear from him, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
still,
Exactly. Yeah.
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 But
My
he
brother
had,
does all my background music. So
Okay.
if every day I write something, you know,
Mhm.
about how do I put this? I only want to put out positive, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
wisdom. You know,
Yeah.
I want this kind of this world.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
There's
we
enough
want,
negative.
yeah, you know, inspiration. That's what you know. And for meditating for 50 years, there's an endless well. You know.
Yeah. 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 You're coming from a good place, and it just you know, there's an expression that happens, you know, that's so unique to someone having an experience.
Mhm.
And I'm just grateful that you know, decided to call on me, because what it did was it made me want to sit and practice before I spoke to you,
Mhm.
because I just felt like a need to be in a certain place, because I wanted to come from, you know, I just didn't want to just say anything,
Yeah,
you know.
no. John, I understand it 1,000%.
Yeah,
What
it's
you're
just
saying.
so much
Yeah,
different when you're focused and you just
yeah,
made your, you know, it just has a way of just, I don't know, it just sets a tone, you know,
right,
in a
right.
sense, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like that.
clarity,
Yeah,
clarity. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
clarity, and
Yeah.
you're coming from a feeling that's so comfortable,
Mhm.
rather than, oh shit, what does he want? Da 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 da. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Richard's bothering me again.
No, I was, you know, I was honored that you wanted to sit, you know, talk to me. And to me, I said, well, then let me try and be the best vehicle of
Uh,
whatever, you
yeah,
know,
well,
to be able to respond in a way that's going to be meaningful, you
yeah,
know. And I hope in some way that there was some questions that, you know, whatever that you asked me, that I kind of gave you some pointers.
yeah.
That's, I don't know what I said that you didn't already know, you know, because to me it's like, we've been around so long. I mean, I might just be repeating something you already know, or I might not. I don't know, you know, but at the same time, I don't take that for granted, you
Mhm.
know, because I respect you in that way. And when you see John, tell him John said hello.
Yeah, I will. Yep, yeah. I just talked with him this morning. He's living in the Netherlands. You know, Hanali and John
Oh
are back.
yeah, they're still married. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah.
Tell Hallelujah. I mean, she was my house mother at on Harvard.
Oh,
She,
that's why. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, on Harvard. You know, that's no longer. That building is no longer. That house is no longer.
Oh, it isn't. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Because I lived in not Long Beach, but I was living in LA at the time, and I went by to see it because I
Mhm.
just happened to be on Wilshire. Because I remember, and I said, "Oh, there's Wilshire E. Bell, and there's, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's the Wiltern, because we went there and saw him there, and then Harvard was not too far from there because it's, you know, a few blocks from Western Avenue, and I went down there and I said, "Oh, so it's gone." I think they have a parking lot there.
Oh, really? Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that's just what, you know, it's okay. Time goes, you know.
Yeah.
I think you know, Prem makes it clear that it's not about the external on that level. You know, he doesn't want people to become, oh, and they go over there and it becomes a shrine, and
Right, right.
you
Like
know what I
how
mean?
just
The
like
things that
that.
we do as humans, we just have a tendency to make a religion out of things. And when he's
Mhm.
just, no, 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 no. You know,
Yeah.
you get to take this moment, these moments with you in your heart. That's where the ball game is playing, not, you know, with this whole other stuff on the outside, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't want to take too much of your time. This has been
I'm
an incredible, you know, a
oh my God.
conversation.
It's always thank you so much for having me, man, because it's just a pleasure. It is. Thank you so much. And tell John once again, hello from me in Honolulu.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so where are they living? Did
and
you say?
they're in the Netherlands, in the
Oh,
Hague.
oh
Yeah,
my God.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. And where are you these days?
I'm in Kansas City, Overland Park, Kansas. Yeah.
Okay, because
I've
I
been
have
here for 11 years, yeah.
okay, I have family in Kansas.
Oh, do you? Oh, wow,
Yeah,
where?
I think it's in Kansas City, or
Okay,
and I'm not sure. Like they were Leavenworth at one time.
okay,
You
yeah.
know,
It's about an hour away, yeah.
yeah, but I'm just saying I have to make sure because I it's been a while since I've spoken to them, and
Yeah.
these are like uh grand nephews that live there.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm thinking, I'm
yeah.
thinking because of Facebook, they found me on Facebook.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
so
Oh, cool.
I see, they're little in their 20s talking about this and that. And I give them a thumbs up on that, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know that they are in Kansas, so, but Kansas is a place that I've visited many times as a child,
Oh,
you
did you?
know.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
because my parents went there for vacation. Every other year they'd go to there and Iowa.
Okay.
Because
Iowa.
my father was from Iowa,
Uh-huh.
and she was from my mother was from Kansas, so we would go there every other year. And I had a blast because it was Euro, I mean they had a farm and this and that,
Oh, my
so you get
gosh.
to
Oh, wow, yeah.
stuff like that, ride a horse and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and just nature,
Yeah. Wow,
that
wow. Wow.
yeah, come on, what's not to love?
Uh,
I don't care what part of this country, when it comes to nature, it's so beautiful to
mhm.
have this appreciation for it,
Yeah.
because I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Australia, I've been to India, I've been to England, but it was the nature always blew my mind.
Mhm.
The nature
Yeah.
always took me back. It wasn't the buildings. It
Right, right.
wasn't, oh, I went to the Taj Mahal. I had no interest in seeing Taj Mahal. I had an interest in seeing Miraji, of course,
Yeah.
and the Ganges or whatever. But I appreciated it on that level. I'm grateful that I grew up a hippie
Mhm. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah.
because it let me embrace nature completely unique to it. I mean, I've been in love with nature to the point where I watch nature on TV. I
Mhm.
mean, I watch every series about animals and insects, and it doesn't matter. It's just such
Yeah.
an incredible planet.
Right.
We are. I mean, this is incredible. All these things that they discover, man. I
Mhm.
mean, just some of the cinematography that exists now.
Oh
They're
my God.
underneath the
Oh,
ground, underneath the water. Da, 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 da. You see this incredible feed that's going on.
mhm.
The frenzy and just life. Just life, just the
Yeah.
beauty of life in all its glory,
Mhm.
and to appreciate it. That's you know, it's such a big, what I mean? It's so big, it's so huge. And we
Mhm.
just and nature's shows allows me to just kind of delve into that,
Yeah.
along with astrophysics. I love
Yeah. Oh, do
astrophysics.
you want to hear? Here's a science tidbit that I learned. If
Mhm.
you unravel the DNA for the entire human body and stretched it out, it would go
Mhm.
2 times around the solar system.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's billions. It's billions. Oh my God.
So since there's trillions of cells, and
Mm.
each DNA, if you rewind it, it's 6 feet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. I just learned about this a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much to learn.
Yeah,
We're so
yeah,
fortunate to still have our wherewithal to appreciate stuff like that,
yeah.
because I'm having families. I have members of the family that are starting to enter the dementia phase and stuff like that. And
Oh wow. Yeah.
but but bottom line, what I see is they remember people. They that short term stuff. No, I said, somebody took $9,000 out of your account. I told him this, and she said, really? And then we got it back, just based on whatever. But I reminded her again, and she said, no, I don't have any. I said, do you know all that stuff we went through to get your 9,000 back? She said, no. And I said, oh wow. So I keep it my conversation like, how are they? How are you feeling today? Da 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 da. Is Ricky's her son? I said, is he taking good care of you? She said, oh yeah. Da da da. So I keep it pleasant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
realize how priceless pleasant moments are,
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
the details.
Mhm.
The details and stuff. No, just the pleasant moments, and that comes to that's true for being with Prem as well. It's
Yeah.
not all the details, it's just moments.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talk to my mom every day because
Oh God, yours is still living, man. Are you
yeah,
know
mine's
how
still living. Oh my
fortunate?
gosh, yeah. And this is during COVID. I imagine she's living in Texas, just moved there about a month ago because my younger brother lives there, and John's daughter lives there. And so, but for a whole month when she was there, COVID happened, so she couldn't go out for breakfast or lunch in the dining room. She had to spend
Oh,
all her time inside of her room.
wow.
But I've been doing this for over a year. For me is that it's because she's 90 years old,
Uh-huh.
and so then the way I saw it about I guess about a year and a half ago, is
Mhm.
that life is so short,
Mhm.
that every moment, every day matters to have a communication with your mom.
With your loved ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
And we
exactly.
don't realize it, but it's never too late for that stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly,
you get
exactly.
busy with life and your life, and
Yeah.
you don't realize, man, these are the moments that, she's going to relish in her life, and you're going to relish later on.
Yeah, almost definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you get to relish it, man. Mine is gone. She didn't even live to be but 64 years of age, my
Oh
mother.
wow, wow, wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, I love, wow, I lived her. And my father lived to be 80 something,
Mhm.
and I took care of him until he passed. And he went blind and all this stuff. So it's just, I got to experience something that was unique to nature. He was in diapers, and he was drinking out of a bottle. And if he didn't like the drink, he'd throw it down.
Mhm.
Just like a little
Yeah,
kid in 2 years. He said, I said juice. I said, Dad, this is Ensure. He said,
yeah,
he threw it down. I went, oh my God, he's a baby. He's in diapers. He doesn't have teeth. He's threw his bottle down, had a temper tantrum. I said, this is so much and I just had that experience of, man, this is, you know, life goes like that, just,
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I wrote a book on life and death. About how precious. Both of them are.
Mhm,
You know, nobody gets a free ride. Nobody,
mhm,
nobody can stop death. It's just everything that even in the entire universe eventually dies.
mhm,
It
mhm.
gets everything gets recycled. Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
But look, Richard, thank you so much for calling me. And I'm
Yeah.
just so grateful to have this conversation with you, and anytime. And if I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
read that, um, whatever you wrote to me that I didn't read on Messenger, I'm gonna take a chance and look at it. And stay in touch,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if
Well.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
help,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
because I'm gonna reach out to TPRF, and because I mean I'm in touch with them, and I'll just see what they say. After I get familiar with what you're offering and this and that, to see what they say for me, and I can just relay it to you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I think for you, basically, you can use that permrawat.com,
Okay. Okay.
because that'll give you your personal, you know what I mean? Because if he writes you back, then you'll have your own moment.
Yeah.
He
Right.
said,
Right.
or maybe he'll have somebody write you and say, well, tell him to do this and that. You know how
Yeah.
he
No.
works.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But continue enjoying, man, and enjoy your meditation, which
Yeah. I.
what's not to enjoy,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
With
So
COVID, I'm retired now, so I'm
yeah. myself, yeah.
I'm on, long sabbatical, but I'm more busy now than ever before. I wrote a program called
Mhm,
magicrings.org, which is on, it's a slideshow. So what I'm using it for is for like scientific research. My
mhm,
brother is going to be putting his projects on here. Hopefully, the
mhm,
University of San Diego will use it.
mhm,
I have a cooking site. I don't know
mhm,
if you like to cook, but
mhm,
on there I have a thing called sample ring. So
mhm.
it brings up a drop down of ethnic recipes. So you click on
Oh,
Indian, and then that gives you a slideshow of all the Indian. I have over 100 Indian recipes on there,
what,
and so
what is that on that? Is that in that the blue column of what you wrote?
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll,
just
I'll
send me that.
yeah,
Because
I'll
I'd
send you
love
that.
to
Yeah.
see that. Because I love Indian food, man. And I don't know, I have very little knowledge on how to cook it. So I'm eating like
Okay.
frozen food from Trader Joe's, Indian food, but it's masala and this and that. It's good.
Yeah.
It's naan. But nothing compared to,
Yeah,
when
and all my
somebody
stuff
cooks.
is super simple to
Okay,
make. Yeah, super.
good.
Yeah,
I love dal. I love
yeah,
dal. And I love sabji and I love, the
yeah,
naan and the chapatis and I love the yogurt. So I love Indian food. So
yeah.
I have a,
So,
mhm,
these recipes you can make. You have a blender, right?
yeah,
Okay. Well, then you have a blender. You can cook Indian food real easy.
I just, I just finished my smoothie
Okay.
and I have a small little one that chops as well. And I have a tall one that,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So just send me that as well.
yeah. I'll do that. Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, Richard, take care of yourself, and it's good to see you, man, once
Yeah.
again. And oh my God, great talking to you.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Likewise. Yeah.
Okay, man. Have a
Okay.
great evening.
Uh-huh. You too. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.